For today's video, let's talk about the reasons why I ended up changing teams as a new grad at Microsoft within the first few months as a PM. Hi, I'm Laura, a PM working in tech, and on my channel I cover my life working as a PM, my life working in tech, and other computer science-related advice. Alright, first things first, just a few things to get out of the way. Yes, I have moved, I am in a different space, that is why I was busy over the past few weeks. I do apologize for the echo. I am working on getting things in here, but obviously it's going to be a process and it's going to be a little bit slow, so bear with me please. Secondly, I do want to experiment moving towards an every other week format where I upload 2 videos a month basically, or instead of uploading every week, I upload every other week. Basically, new things are happening, so please hold and give me any feedback that you might have. The first and most important reason why I ended up switching teams was that the work wasn't aligned with my expectations. When I got the news to join full-time as a PM at Microsoft, I was pretty darn ecstatic. After all, being a product manager right out of the gate as a new grad is going to be pretty rare, and having the opportunity and expertise to build up my skills just out of the gate was going to be really exciting and set me off on the right foot. As an Explore intern on my previous team, I also got the chance to dive in and work with a ton of great and awesome product managers. It really convinced me that product management was a really fun space to be in, and got me excited about the kind of work that you do as a product manager. You kind of get the gist, but focusing on the user experience, connecting with customers and learning about their pain points, and just coming up with the cool solutions and features to solve their problems. During the interview process, I also got the chance to talk with 4 different PMs on security products at Microsoft, so I was really excited about the opportunity of furthering my niche in security by working on a security product also out of the gate. Upon joining the team, my manager asked me what I was looking forward to, and I expressed those things that I mentioned, such as product and user-centric focuses, and I quickly got kind of fast affirmation that that wasn't really what the team did. However, as I started spending more time talking with the team, my manager, and just learning more about the general organization as well, I kind of quickly realized and got the hint that this wasn't really the product org I was looking for, or that I was excited about joining in the first place. I decided to still give it a shot though, because most people say to at least try your team out for a couple of weeks or months and then make the decision. It was also my very first job too, so I didn't really know what to expect and if it was appropriate to raise these kind of concerns or switch teams so early on. A few weeks in, I had my first solo project and I was kind of enjoying it, but I also started to realize that the team didn't really have a great direction, and I didn't really understand how my project fit in or the kind of work that I'd be doing in the future and how that would advance my career further. The 3 key words that were in our team title weren't even things that our team really did anymore. Other teams started to fill in for the kind of work that our team previously did, and I also wasn't really clear on how our team was doing innovative work and didn't really get that answered from other people around me either. But the most important point, and tying this whole back to the expectations thing, is that I didn't see how my career would advance and how I could actually grow the skills that I wanted to by staying on this team. It was still a general security team and I had other opportunities to kind of advance my security knowledge, but it wasn't really in the right direction. Even though I think I could have stayed on the team and done good work, or at least I hope so, I don't really think I would have enjoyed it as much, and I wouldn't be having as much fun in just my day job as it would be on a more product and focused team. The second motivating factor for switching teams is that there is already incredibly high turnover in the organization writ large. I want to start out though by saying that attrition within an organization is perfectly normal. There's an ebb and flow of people leaving all the time, and that's why you hire more people, is to fill in the gaps of the people who left previously. And a rate of higher attrition may not necessarily be a red flag, but it is a good indication for you to look around you and see what's going on, if anything. In fact, at Microsoft, there's even a general culture encouraging people to switch teams internally if they find that the work that they're currently doing just isn't suiting them anymore, or they feel like they've moved on. But within 3 months of being on the team, I think I saw 10 to 15 people leave around me. There was a good balance between people who had been in the roles for a while and also people who had kind of been newer to the roles and leaving. But I also did reach out to a lot of these people and heard out why they were leaving and their concerns for the general organization and team. In turn, it kind of just led me to question, well, is this really the right fit for me? I had a couple one-on-ones with people that were leaving, and a couple of common themes just kept popping up that made me wonder if I was also in the right place or not. If you spend some time on my channel, you know how much I care about team culture, and I think it's really important to help cultivate a sense of belonging, transparency, and psychological safety. It also just generally influences your well-being and how much you feel comfortable sharing and leaning on the other people on your team. So for me, the attrition around me was a cherry on top in addition to the first points and the next point that I'll also bring up. Consider it a motivating factor, but not necessarily the end-all be-all. You can also even turn people around you leaving into a good thing. If you somehow become the only person left on your team, then that's a great opportunity for you to step up if you enjoy the work and to really show that you're capable and prove to leadership that you're capable and worthy of a promotion or a couple of promotions in the coming months and years. I know a few people who have been in those positions and they have really stepped up and their careers are doing great. However, if you're otherwise feeling miserable and not really enjoying the work, then you're probably not going to enjoy stepping up and taking on the burden of others at the same time. The third and last thing that motivated me to switch was that I really felt like I didn't have enough support as a new grad. There are fairly low expectations for you to be self-sufficient as a new grad because after all, you just left school, you spent all your life in education, and here you are jumping into industry and expecting to just play catch up with other people who have years and years of experience and careers longer than you've been alive in some cases. I didn't know how to approach learning conversations with my manager, such as career conversations, career development stories, and in general, how to best position myself when it comes to these kinds of things. Even now, I do still struggle with them, but they are really important for you to build your confidence in and get a better sense of what you should be doing in these cases. But for me, it just felt incredibly awkward, and I also felt kind of brushed off whenever I did try to bring up these topics. In other cases, when I didn't know what to do next, I had finished the work that I'd been assigned and I was just looking for something new. The people and coworkers around me didn't really help me out or give me any leads on where I could go next. A lot of what my team was doing was kind of shrouded in mystery, and I had no idea what projects they were actually involved on, as well as how I could help or what they needed help with. And no one really informed me of all the things that the team was actually covering at that point in time, so I just felt pretty stuck a lot of the time. My first project that I also worked on ended up being more of a throwaway project that didn't have great leadership or managerial support, and I also got into a lot of awkward conversations with people that didn't really understand the reasoning behind the project I was working on, and that was really frustrating and also just a little bit depressing as well. In those moments where I did have a little bit more spare time, I tried talking to the sister team to get more involved on the security front and to see what projects they had open. I felt like there was some pressure and discouragement from me to pursue these opportunities further, and I was also told to just keep waiting for new projects that are coming down the pipeline without ever being told what those projects would be or what my role in those would look like. I also proposed my own project that was relevant to the kinds of things that I heard people around me working on, but I was also discouraged from pursuing this any further. When I was finally assigned a new project at the end of the day, the details were incredibly vague, and I just had little to no control over what was actually going on, and I didn't really know how I could help out and be a productive force when it came to driving this project. So briefly at the end, I wanted to save some time to talk about how I switched teams at Microsoft. So the process for changing teams at Microsoft is actually pretty straightforward. You go to the careers.microsoft.com page, and this has all the job postings across Microsoft. These are both external and internal facing, so anyone can apply for these theoretically. The main benefit of being an internal candidate though is that you do get to see who the hiring manager is, so once you're there, you can just send them an email, set up a quick chat, and get that time to learn more about the work they're doing, who they're looking for, and the kind of skills that you might need as a potential candidate. For me, the process was that I found a posting that I liked that focused on a security product. I messaged the hiring manager to set up a quick chat, and I enjoyed the conversation and also the kind of details that they shared. From there, a few weeks later, I went through the interview process, and yes, you have to re-interview in the majority of cases if you're transferring teams internally. I went through a couple of hour-long interviews, same as you would as an external candidate. So I went on with bated breath after the interview finished, and just like any other candidate in interview process, it was pretty stressful waiting for this whole thing. But once I heard back and I had the offer in hand, I went ahead and talked to my current manager about the transition and that I'd be leaving the current team. As you could probably expect, it was an awkward conversation, but it definitely helped to kind of build my character and confidence in having these kinds of talks. And overall, I am happy that I made the transition onto a new team. All things considered my first role, I was pretty disappointed that things didn't work out. It was no one's individual fault by any means, and I was just really excited and focused on being a product manager rather than the kind of work that our previous team was going to be embarking on. Not every team is going to be the right fit, even if it seems like the right fit on paper, and people aren't also going to be magicians when it comes to placing a new grad onto a team. Sometimes things just don't work out the way you expect them to. So as always, thanks so much for watching. Feel free to schedule a call chat with me or join the Discord channel, both linked in the search box down below. I'll see you again soon with a new video. Bye!